Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do the October TBR. Let me just go ahead and give you a rundown of what this video will contain and then we'll get right into it. So overall, I want the focus to be soft spooky is what I'm calling it, kind of like Casper the Friendly Ghost vibes, nothing too scary, but I've also been kind of diving into some mystery and thriller aspects of books lately, so you'll see a little bit of that this month. For this month, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into the TBR. So first of all, I will share with you my devotionals and then the 40 Days for Life books that I'll be reading this month. We'll then get into my 12 and 2022 reading recommendations. I will then talk a little bit about my participation in Thrill Till Halloween, and then we will get into my TBR game, my rollovers, my blind dates bookshop from my birthday, and then at the very end you guys are going to get to choose one last book that I can add to my TBR of the books that don't get chosen that I still want to read this month. So stay tuned for that, but let's go ahead and get into what I'm reading in October. So as always, for my devotionals, I will be continuing Jesus Calling. I didn't do the best in this in September, but a new month, new chance. We can do this for October. I will also be continuing Gospel-Centered Kids Ministry. I read a chapter of this every Saturday night before teaching my class Sunday morning. I will also be picking up with 40 Days for Life devotional once I get to that point. I'm on day 21. I'll pick up on October 18th because I've read a lot of these, but I just wanted to kind of like continue with what I haven't read. And I will also be continuing Unplanned, which I started literally yesterday, no, 2 days ago. So those are my like devotional type / 40 Days for Life reads. For 12 and 2022, my recommendation of the month is going to be Timeline, and I'm going to be reading this by ebook. I also did just want to go ahead and say a lot of the books that I picked this month are going to be ebooks because I'll be traveling and I'll want to have access to all my books, but not like bring a million like Rory Gilmore style, you know what I mean?
Malay?
This is my bus book.
Uh-huh. What's the Faulkner?
My other bus book.
So just take one bus book.
No, the Malay is a biography, and sometimes if I'm on the bus and I pull out a biography and I think to myself, well, I don't really feel like reading about a person's life right now, then I'll switch to the novel. And then sometimes if I'm not into the novel, I'll switch back.
So I'm going to try to pick a bunch of ebooks. I've downloaded several already on my iPad, which I'm really excited, and I'm going to try to get those on my TBR as best as possible. With that, we're going to get into my TBR game. After I talk about Thrill Till Halloween, I am only going to be participating in that. I will probably watch the live show and also would love to participate in the buddy read, which is reading The Last Housewife, I believe it's called. This just sounds interesting to me and I'd love to see what I think of it. So I'm going to hopefully be able to participate with that at the end of the month. But now let's go ahead and get into my TBR game, which I have like 14 or 15 books to pick, so let's do this. I'm going to start off with my treble dice because this gives me the least amount of control and I need to be able to get all the books that I want on my TBR, so we're just going to start with what I don't really control that much. I have to use this to pick my first 6 books, so let's do it. First roll of the treble game. It's a 2. I forgot to count. Let me go ahead and count real fast. Okay, for a 1, I'll read the one I want to read the least. For a 6, I'll read the one I want to read the most, and then for 2, I'll roll again, read one of those 2, 3, one of those 2, 4, one of those 2, 5, one of those 2, and it'll go that same way. Okay. 4. So that is one of these 2. Oh goodness, I hope I end up on the Harbinger 2 because that is on my reading list for the month. If I land on a 4, 5, or 6, that'll be the Harbinger. Yes. Okay, Harbinger 2. The Harbinger 2 is basically the continuation of the Harbinger, which I will just read the synopsis because it'll tell you better than I could. Embark on a mysterious and epic journey with the prophet from an island in New England to the top of the World Trade Center, to a primeval forest, to the steps of the Supreme Court, to the House of Faces, to the pedestal of the Statue of Liberty. Though the mysteries are revealed through a narrative, the revelations are totally real, stunning, and life-changing. I feel like that didn't really tell you a whole lot, but this is a continuation of one of the books that I enjoyed the most during last year's Bookmas, which was The Harbinger. I'm excited to get to this. This is roll number 2 of 6. And it is a 1. 1 means I have to choose the longest book of all of these. So that's great. Okay. It could be this one, could be that one, could be that one. Let's see what we can figure out. Looks like it's going to be the longest by far in that it's over 400 pages, and I believe everything else is under 400 pages, so we're going with it. And I'll be reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which is another book that was on my want to read list for the month, so this is going well thus far. I feel like I hardly need to tell you what this is about, but basically girl is cursed to not be remembered by anybody until one day someone remembers her. And she is immortal, so she's living this life that just goes on and on and on, and nobody remembers her until that one day. I'm intrigued. Okay, roll number 3 of 6 is a 2 again, so we'll roll again and just kind of go from there. And it is a 6, which means that I get to choose whichever of these I want to read the most. I have to save that for something else, so I'm going to choose Runaway by Harlan Coben. I vaguely remember what this is about. A perfect family is shattered in this proposal thriller from the master of domestic suspense. You've lost your daughter. She's addicted to drugs and to an abusive boyfriend, and she's made it clear that she doesn't want to be found. Then, by chance, you see her playing guitar in Central Park. But she's not the girl you remember. This woman is living on the edge, frightened and clearly in trouble. You don't stop to think, you approach her, beg her to come home. She runs, and you do the only thing a parent can do. You follow her into a dark and dangerous world you never knew existed. Before you know it, both your family and your life are on the line, and in order to protect your daughter from the evils of that world, you must face them head on. Roll number 4 of 6. Is a 5. So that is the group that's down here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books left. And on a 1, I have to read the book I want to read the least. A 6, I can read the book I want to read the most. And the others coordinate with numbers. And it's a 1. So the one I want to read the least this month, this one, I'm not really feeling like a book about waiting. So we'll just go for this. Not really what I was wanting, obviously, but that's okay. All right, roll 5 of 6 is a 5. So that is that group again. And it is a 4. So that is one of these two. So that's a 1 through 3, that's a 4 through 6. And it is a 6, so we'll go with Secrets of the Vine. Is it time to trade in mediocrity for a life of consequence? Do you want to experience the joy of making maximum impact for God? Journey through John 15, find out why Jesus is the vine of life, and explore the 4 levels of fruit bearing. You'll learn 3 surprising secrets that will open your eyes to your unrealized potential in Him starting today. So, last roll of 6 is a 2. So we're back to this first section. I need to get anything except for that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just say this is 1 through 5, and then if I land on a 6, I can read whatever I want. And it's a 1, so I will be reading, which this actually works out perfectly. Also for 40 Days for Life, Why Pro-Life? So that'll be good. I'm gonna actually put that over here. Okay, so that actually was pretty good for the part of my game that I have no control over, or minimal control over what I get to choose. I did get 3 books that I wanted to read this month. 3 books I wasn't really wanting to read this month. That's okay. Here we're gonna use these. I will choose 7 prompts. What I'm gonna do, instead of like rotating them through multiple times, I'm gonna count how many I'll choose of each, and then I'll just do them at the same time. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll need to choose 3 from here, 2 from here, and 2 from here. Let's do it. Okay, this is just a regular prompt. Let's see what it is. Have someone choose for you. Oh my gosh, how do I want to do this? I'm thinking I'm going to do this my game, my rules. You know how I said at the end of the video, you guys are going to get to choose the last chance kind of book? I'm going to go ahead and say you guys are going to choose the last 2. So basically, in the comments, you guys will vote for, I'm going to give you a list of 5 books, and you guys are going to vote for which ones you want me to read. And whichever ones of those get the top 2 votes are the ones that I will add to my TBR. And this will count for that. Okay, 2 more to choose from here. Okay, go with this old mini Star Hop. A standalone. Well, that'll work because most of mine are standalones, and I'm gonna choose this one. This is the one that I have been looking so forward to, Doom with a View. Let me just read the synopsis. When one of the first guests at her Oregon Coast B&B dies, it's up to Melanie West to find the in-house murderer. It's grand opening week at the Merry Ghost Inn, and spirits are high as Melanie West and her grandmother Liza welcome 6 excited members of a reading group. Melanie's lovable mutt Max sniffs out a reader who will never dog-ear another page again. I'm hoping this is like cozy I'm hoping this is like cozy mystery vibes. It gives me Casper the Friendly Ghost vibes, which I told you is what we're going for here in the month of October. I think this is going to be cute. I do need to start putting some of my ebooks on my TBR, so. It's another old Star Hop. Friend pick? Are you serious right now? I asked on Instagram for people to vote on which book I should add to my TBR. I've already done this. And they all said The Silent Patient, so that is what I am going to choose for this. Well, one person agreed with me on the guest list, but most of the people wanted The Silent Patient, so I'm gonna go with that as my friend pick. Again, my game, my rules, so there. And that's what I'm gonna choose for that one. This, I have to choose 2 from here. Another Star Hop. What does that say? Free lib? Yeah, free library. Okay, let's find something that I found in a little free library, shall we? Oh, dang it. Ooh, perfect. We Were Liars, another book on my want to read this month list. Not completely sold on this, not sure if I'll like it, but it's short and I think it'll have some thriller, spooky-ish vibes. We're here for it. Oh. Alright, next one. Please don't be like a friend pick or anything. I really need to get, what does that say? Put one back. I'm here for this because I don't want to read this. That's going back. Now I gotta choose 2 from here. Another Star Hop. Pretty much whenever I finish like a readathon that has prompts and stuff like that, I just put them in these things. So that's what we're getting here. What does that say? Free pick? Bless you. Hallelujah. I'm gonna choose an ebook. Let's see. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with Hollowpox. Here we go, because I definitely want to read that this month. And I already have it like on hold on Libby. It should be delivered tomorrow. Fingers crossed, October 1st. Okay, one more in here. Is that 1 or 2? I always try to go for the one that's like on the inside, so it's not like I can see what it is. I think there's another one on the inside there. Okay, what is this? Biography? We're gonna try this one again. There's only one biography on my TBR, and it's one of my rollovers, and it's not on my reading list for the month. So let's go with whatever this is. What does that say? Put one back and draw again. What is this? Well, the only ones that I would want to put back are Why Pro-Life and Secrets of the Vine, which makes me feel like a horrible person, but that's just because they were not on my reading list for the month. I also could put back The Harbinger too. And I'm kind of feeling that. But I don't want... This is tough. I think I'm gonna put back The Harbinger too. Just because I want to read the other ones. Even though the other ones aren't on my reading list and this one is. I know that makes no sense, but like, I feel like The Harbinger 2 is a little bit more November vibes than October, even though it was on my list for this month. I don't know. And we will draw again. You choose. Thank you. Okay. I choose to select. I would miss out if I didn't read Hidden Pictures, so I'm gonna choose that one. My understanding of that is it's basically like this kid keeps drawing pictures and they're like normal pictures at first, and then they start to be like really creepy and almost like he's getting visions of like a murder that had happened in the past. Sounds intriguing. So moving right along, now I get to choose one from my lowest rated on Goodreads of the books that I own. Hairpin Bridge. I've heard mixed reviews on this since I picked it up. I didn't know anything about it when I picked it up from a little free library, but I've since heard mixed reviews, but I am going to select this as my lowest rated Goodreads pick. Normally, Fibbinder, I choose a middle grade and a school-related book, but this time I am going to choose 2 ebooks that I'm wanting to read that I've not gotten on my TBR. All right, here we go. Imagine the Books Are Here. Up here is the Amelia Fang. Down here is 7 Days. Let's do this. Turn number 7. Okay. So 7 days it is. Now for my rollover situation. So last month I had drawn No God But One, but I didn't actually end up finishing it. I made some progress, but this is my current rollover. So what I'm going to do is I am going to hold this. I'm going to draw another book from my rollovers bag, and then I'm going to choose between those 2. So it's usually the first book that I touch. This was the first book, and it's a heck no for this. So we're putting that back in there. And my rollover for the month will continue to be No God But One until I finish it. So then for my blind date with the book, I had gotten Synapse by Stephen James. I obviously have started this. I started it in August, which was my birthday. I've not finished that vlog, and I've not finished like the goodies that came in that box. So I want to finish those up while also reading this book. I feel like this is also kind of a suspenseful thriller vibe, perfect for October. So I'll be continuing this month as well. Now it is time for the You Choose portion of this video. I'm going to give you guys the list of the books that I had on my want to read list that I didn't get onto this TBR, so that you guys can choose the top 2 that I will be adding to my TBR for that friend pick. And then I had the regular You Choose that I already was planning to put in this video. So you guys, whatever you vote for, I will just basically look through the comments. As long as you're voting by October 7th, it'll count. 7 books that are options. First of all, Amelia Fang. Next is The Attic Child. I'm interested in this one. I don't remember what it's about other than a child in an attic. I think it's like 2 kids were living in the same attic at separate points in time, and then their stories intertwined somehow. I love stories like that, so there's that. Caraval. I really wanted to put this on my TBR, but it just... I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna happen. Daisy Darker. I feel like everyone has heard of this. recently. Don't remember the synopsis, but I like the cover. The Maidens, lots of mixed reviews, but I've been wanting to read that for a long time. Never Saw Me Coming, I forget what this is about, but I'm interested. And For Whom the Book Told. Let me know which one you would like to see me read, and I will pick the 2 that get the most votes or comments. Okay, so that was everything for my October TBR. It's in parts what I was hoping for and parts not expecting, but I think it's going to be a great month. I'm looking forward to this sort of soft, spooky reads, like the mysteries, the thrillers, the Casper the Friendly Ghost vibes with Doom with a View. I'm just overall excited for this month. I think it's gonna be fun. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and want to see what I think of these books up here. Let me know in the comments what you will be reading this month and which of these books would you be most interested in if you haven't read them. Although I feel like I'm the last person in the world who hasn't read most of these, but it's fine. Which one would you choose? I will talk to you guys next time. I have yet to do my planning for what videos I'm going to post in October, but there's more coming here shortly. So stay tuned for that, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!